діти роду козацького ми.
Sponsored by Ukrainian Credit Union. Believe it or not, it's Ron Kohut with Stay Ukrainian, my friends.
We're Cossack children of history.
We are standing in the parish of St. Elias with Otec Mitrat Roman Galadza, Father Roman Galadza. How long have we known one another, Father?
Since 1969, that would make it 44 years, Ron.
No way, huh?
44 years. Sam Pyu, Sam Hoyayu. You taught me that way back then. Wonderful.
Yeah, we go back quite a while. Yeah. We're in the middle of Great Lent.
Actually, past the middle point.
We are past the middle point. I asked you the other day the differences between the two Easters. So I think what I'd like you to do is explain to everyone, because we have millions of viewers. You are aware of that.
Yes, I know.
Why the two Easters are different, and why this particular one this year, Passover was before Latin Easter, but why are we waiting 5 weeks yet?
Because the 13 days difference for us, the Passover has to come after the spring equinox. This is very complicated, and I'm not sure I got it right, but my understanding is the spring equinox is March the 21st. And after March 21st, you have the first full moon, and after that first full moon, they celebrate Passover, and then Christians would celebrate Easter. Right. Okay, the resurrection, the Passover of the Lord. Now, with us on a Julian calendar, that March 21st doesn't happen until 13 days later. Okay, so if the full moon hasn't taken place yet, we have to wait for the next full moon, and then the Sunday after that would be our Pascha. So we're waiting for the next full moon. It all has to do with all that stuff.
Where does 13 days come from? Like, what, can't they get with the program? Or?
Oh, no, well, when Julius Caesar gave us the calendar, okay, it was inaccurate. They lost a few minutes every year. And then by the year 15-something or other, Pope Gregory's astronomers found that they were about 10 days behind the movement of the sun and the moon, and so they caught up. They moved, all those who were with the Roman Church moved up 10 days at that time. Since that time, we've lost another 3 days. Those who were not under the Pope's influence at that time, like the Greeks and the Ukrainians and the Eastern European countries there, also Japan and even England, they refused to do that, and so they were left behind those 10 days. Now we're left behind 13 days. So although tomorrow is the 14th of April in the bank,
it's the first for us.
It's the first for us.
April Fool's Day, Zautra.
Zautra, yes. You can do things with that, couldn't you?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah. So we're 13 days behind that, and if that affects, if the movement of the moon, the equinox, is affected by that, then we have to wait for the next full moon after our March the 21st.
As Christians, how are we to prepare ourselves for Pascha, for the resurrection?
Very good question. It's there's different ways. There's the church way, and then there's the the Narodny way. Very often what are people doing? They're buying making Easter eggs and baking the paschie and getting all that ready for Easter. But there's much more than that. The preparation for Easter, for Pascha, is like there's 4 weeks prior to Pascha with the Sundays that precede the first Sunday of Lent, and then you got the 7 weeks of Lent. Okay, 7
of which,
weeks.
sorry to interrupt, Sunday is not a Lenten day. Is this correct?
Sunday is officially a day of resurrection. It's
so
still a story of joy.
You can play with your Wii on Sunday.
You can whatever you call it.
Is that true though?
It is a lessened fast.
Oh, okay.
It can be a lessened fast. So whatever you're doing on the weekdays of Lent, for example, we don't do poklony on Sundays, Saturdays and Sundays of Lent. We don't do poklony, strictly speaking. We shouldn't be singing the sad songs. We shouldn't be wearing dark-colored vestments. But because so many of our people don't get to church during the week, they'll sing Preterpivi, they'll sing Stradalna Mate, Pід Хрествістою during the weeks, during Sundays of Lent, because that's the only time that people experience that somber Lenten atmosphere. But how to prepare for Lent is by prayer, fasting, and doing good works. The prayer in church is, there's all sorts of additional prayers. Večírňa on Sunday nights, Predosviačených darů, liturgy of pre-sanctified gifts on Wednesdays and Fridays. The first week is heavy, the last week is heavy. Every night before you go to bed, you do holy exercises. You do the prayer of St. Ephraim with Господи, владико життя мого, дух лінивства, and boom, holy calisthenics. Holy exercise, the poklony, Good
Is
for
that,
us.
yeah, thanks.
Good for us.
That's modernizing, is
It
it?
works. It works. And so you have that during the weekdays of Lent. Fasting. Now, our parents, мясо пусто неделю meant what? Goodbye meat. There would be no meat from мясо пусто неделя until you're diving into that Pascha and the kovasa. All that time, no meat, strictly speaking. Siropusna neděля, the Sunday before Lent begins, the day of Forgiveness Sunday, is no milk or dairy products. So there'd be no milk, butter, cheese, ничего такого до Pascha. And in the old country, they did it seriously. Ask Baba Jido, see how they observe the fast. With us, if we can get people to fast from meat, that'd be awesome. If we can get them to remember Wednesdays and Fridays and add Monday to it during weekdays, that would be good. But what they're doing with regards to the prayer, we do what we do there in church and at home. With regards to the fasting, you take upon yourself what you can handle, what you can do without becoming don't eating people,
Now, true Lenten fasting, I was under the impression that we are not to eat anything with a backbone.
That's fish.
Well, that even means fish. I mean,
That has to do with fish. That has the backbone stuff. Meat is meat. But even fish with a backbone is considered to be a meat. But that's really esoteric, man.
Yeah.
If you're, fish is fish as far as I'm concerned. But if you're already doing all the meat, all the milk, all the sir, butter, and all that sort of stuff, and you're fasting from all that, you want to go to the next level or whatever, then you begin to see what has a backbone to it, what does not, in terms of fish. Okay?
so you can eat lobster, shrimp, and lentils, so you end up in the poorhouse.
I love shrimp. And I don't know if shrimp. Does shrimp have a backbone? No. Okay. But scallops, I love scallops. I love calamari. Does calamari have? But anyway, that's
No,
not. But
I could make a list of some people we know that don't have backbones either.
But it's the spirit. It's actually what the church says it is the spirit of the fast that should be observed.
Right, so from here, not necessarily from the
That's right.
from the
that's
rules.
Right,
It's-
and do what you can.
So in
and
other
take
words, if
upon
it's
yourself what
difficult for
can.
you, or if it's an effort for you,
Yeah.
it would be sufficient.
But then it's like weightlifting or like running a marathon or whatever. Then that extra rep, that extra bit of effort makes all the difference, okay? So if you're content with you doing what you're doing and it's going well, it is advised by the spiritual fathers to go to the
Next step.
next step, okay? So you keep on going up
It's
the ladder.
like exercise.
It's like tomorrow's a ladder of ascent. St. John of the Ladder is like exercises. You make progress. So if this is you're at that point, go on to the next. Okay, so we prepare by prayer, by fasting to what ability you can, and by good works. And again, the good works are absolutely essential. You can be, if you don't have the love of your neighbor and care for your neighbor, at home and beyond the home, then all the observance of the law, no matter how strict it is useless. So good works.
So, and Lent officially ends Palm Sunday, and then it becomes Easter week, right?
And then the gun lap. That is Lent ends on on Friday before Lazarus Saturday. Okay, that's the end of that's the 40 days basically, I think. But then you have Lazarus Saturday, which is a baptismal day, a celebration. Palm Sunday, which our people love, and then you dive into the heavy, although the joyful, you got this joyous waiting.
Well, because
for
you know how it ends.
Monday. Exactly. But the services are very, very much so. And if you haven't done anything all Lent, that is the time to renew your effort.
Ми діти роду козацького,
Sponsored by Ukrainian Credit Union. Believe it or not, it's Ron Kahut with Stay Ukrainian, my friends.
we're Cossack children of history.
Чекаємо вас, нове покоління. Вітаємо вас, нове покоління.
Hi, Ron Kahut here, asking everyone to join us across Canada in the Help Us Help the Children 20 Years of Achievement Telethon, right here on KONTAKT, Saturday, April 27th and Sunday, April 28th.
Open your arms to the new generation. Open your eyes to the new generation.